guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in today's video, I'm going to give you a flip through of the Dinosaurs unit from Gather Round Homeschool. This is a year 3 unit, only meaning that it was wrote in the 3rd year of her creation of her curriculum. You can do any of the Gather Round units in any order that you would like. So when you go to the website and you check it out, you can pick anything that interests you and start there. So this is the Dinosaurs unit. I'm going to show you the teacher's guide and I'm going to show you the middle school notebook. Now this is the printed version. I did order year 3 in print. So this comes directly from Gather Round up in Canada. And when you purchase print from them, you are able to resell it. And I'll show you the little seal that shows you that you can resell it in like a buy-sell trade group or just to someone else. So let's get started. If you're looking for other flip throughs, we have done a majority of the units and I have a ton of flip throughs of different units. You can look for our Gather Round playlist and you can look inside many of the units that Gather Round has put out. But let's get started with the dinosaur unit. So while I'm getting it all set up, because I want to make sure that it's in frame for you, Gather Round Homeschool is made to teach your whole family, from your youngest all the way up to your high schoolers. You definitely want to check out the Gather Round Homeschool app, and you want to follow them on Facebook and Instagram so that you can get all the ideas and all the extras. So let me show you inside of the teacher's guide. So the first thing you're going to see here is this red seal, and that red seal is what tells you that you're able to resell it. So you cannot resell digital, but you can resell the print that comes from them. So it does come spiral bound on very thick paper. It is super nice. This is our first year getting it printed from them, and it is so nice. You have a note to the teacher. This talks about what the Gather Round difference is, a day with Gather Round Homeschool and what it looks like, how long does it take, it talks about supplies, and is it enough. This tells you how to find them on Facebook, their page, their group, Instagram, and their app. You definitely want to check that out, and then they have their website. This QR code right here, I think you can see it. This QR code is going to take you to all the resources for the dinosaur unit. So you're going to find the book list and the suggested videos and all the activities that other families submit. So you definitely want to check that out. Now this is talking about the exclusive MP3 stories, and at the time of filming this, their barn had just recently burnt to the ground, which is where all their MP3s and things were being stored. So I'm sure this is something they're working to recover and to work on, but right now I know that this right here is not available. Maybe later. So this is the table of contents. This is a full unit, so you have 20 lessons. So you can look at all these. I'll leave this on here, but it does talk about the backstory. Humans meet terrible lizard, a persevering pioneer, the Bone Wars, the Big T, Indiana Andrews, the most famous dinosaur, a controversial find, Meanwhile in the North, backyard discoveries, jack of all trades, all hands on deck, following the footsteps, seeing things differently, uncharted territory, the real deal, dino proteins, the cost of conviction, the father of paleontology, kings of curiosity, and then Appendix. Now, if you are a Gather Round user and you've used some other of their units, you're probably thinking, well, where are the teacher planning pages? And where's the scope and sequence? And where's the book list? You'll find all of that on the app resources. So when you scan that QR code or you go to the app and you join the dinosaur community, you're going to be able to find all those things and you can print them out there. All right. So I'm just going to show you what a couple of the lessons look like so that you can kind of get a gist of how it's all laid out. What I love about these year 3 units is they have a family devotional prompt that we start our day with, and I love how it ties directly into the lesson. There is a heads up for the teacher for this one because it does talk about how this is a highly controversial topic, and it goes into all of that. So your first whole lesson are the different theories on dinosaurs. Very eye-opening for my son. He was really into this lesson. There are some talk about it, things for discussion. And then over here, it tells you like note to students, note to teacher. Here's your checklist, and here's some vocabulary. So the vocabulary are the bold black words, and I don't just do the ones that are right here for middle school. I try to talk about any of the vocabulary just to make sure that my son has a better understanding of what we're talking about. So after you read the lesson, you know that you can make this your own. You can stop and watch videos, you can stop and discuss, but after you finish the lesson, then your students will move to their own notebooks, and we'll show you the notebook in just a minute. And then you have a day at a glance. This is going to tell you what everyone's doing, and if it needs answers, there is an answer key provided. Here's lesson 2, humans meet terrible lizard. I love the illustrations of the dinosaurs. I love it in relation to someone who is 5'11", so you can really kind of see the size of them. There are quick facts. This is about puzzle piecers. There's an extension activity that you can do or not do. It's totally up to you. You've got some classification and an optional activity. And then here's your day at a glance. Again, here's lesson 3. You talk about Mary Anning. Some more think about it. And then it does get into apologetics. This unit is very heavy in apologetics. So if that's your thing and you want to do that with your children, that is in here. And I'll show you how it looks in the middle school notebook also. And here's another optional activity. Lesson 4, the Bone Wars. So you are learning a lot of history with some science mixed in, but it is very history heavy. The Big T, where you learn about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I've also found a lot of geography with the states and just different places that these dinosaurs have been found. There's been a lot of geography happening in our home as well. Another extension activity and an optional activity. Here's lesson 6. I love the real pictures of the people because I do like for my son to know what that person looks like as we're talking about them. We have learned a lot of things. We are dinosaur lovers. We love the Jurassic Park movies, and it's so great to compare what the truth is and what they know about these dinosaurs and then what is kind of exaggerated in movies. We've loved that. Here's lesson 7, the most famous dinosaur. You get to learn about Andrew Carnegie. Another optional activity about using Legos to create a creature. Lesson 8, a controversial find. This is about Benjamin Mudge. Lesson 9, Meanwhile in the North. An activity break. And there's some apologetics. Lesson 10, Backyard Discoveries. I love the Did You Know section. Those are always really good. And then, what do you think? Would you want to uncover a treasure in your backyard if you had to give it up to be studied and appreciated by everyone? Lesson 11 is a jack of all trades. Here's an extension activity. Did you know? And then you always have the quick facts about the dinosaurs. And an optional activity. This is to make your own dinosaur tooth from a mold. Lesson 12 is all hands on deck. We've definitely learned about some dinosaurs that we did not know about. Here's an optional activity. Following the footsteps. This talks about dinosaur tracks. Another apologetics corner. And another optional activity to make your own dino footprints. 14, seeing things differently. Interesting facts. More dinosaurs. So it's a really good mix of hands-on activities, learning about different people and learning about dinosaurs. This is to make your own dino mask. Lesson 15, Uncharted Territory. Some more talk about it. Lesson 16 is The Real Deal. Here's an optional activity. There's a parent note right here about The Giver. It says, The Giver is a powerful story that can help provoke amazing discussions, but as always, read some reviews before deciding if it's appropriate. This book has references to urges that are suppressed. we actually have started reading The Giver, and I actually pre-read the chapters before we read it out loud. And so I did skip one chapter because we were just not ready to go there yet. But you might want to, if you're going to read The Giver, which is, recommended for the older group, you might want to read that first. So I love that she includes that. Lesson 7 is called Dino Proteins. And this is like, wait, can Jurassic Park really happen? That's my dream. Not the disastrous dinosaurs getting loose and killing people dream, but like, I would love to see dinosaurs. More Apologetics, another optional activity to study a bone. Lesson 18, The Cost of Conviction. That's my son's favorite dinosaur. Optional activity is to glue dried pasta noodles onto paper and make your own dinosaur fossil reconstructions. Lesson 19, The Father of Paleontology. And let's see, lesson 20 is Kings of Curiosity, and it says it's all about perspective, what just happened. There is a notebooking prompt, another optional activity. You can also find the certificate on the resource page, which would be linked in the main website menu. Or you can use that QR code and you can find a certificate to print out for your kids when you finish. So definitely check that out. And then for the appendix, they have this that you use with the first lesson. And then, like I said, you're going to find the other stuff that you normally see in the teacher's guide. You're going to find that on the app for you to print out. So now let me get this middle school book here. This one's harder for me to show because it's bound at the top, and it's very, very hard for me to film this. It's also, I get really confused, and I don't know why, because the concept of it is very simple, but as we're flipping pages and using this, it's very confusing to me because I'm very used to things being bound on the side. So this is the middle school notebook. If you are new to Gather Round, they start at pre-reader and they go all the way to high school, and you can look at samples of all of these levels online so that you can see what the notebook looks like. I also have a friend here on YouTube. Her channel is Pearls and Oak, and her daughter is young. I believe she's 5. And so she uses, I believe, the early reader, and she has a flip through of what that level looks like for dinosaurs. She also has a flip through of the Seat Work journal. I think that's what it's called. It's an extra that you can purchase, and it's going to include places for your copy work and your spelling practice for each day. And she has a flip through of that. We've not purchased that yet. Maybe with one of our units we will, but so far we haven't. But if you want to see that, check out Pearls and Oak, especially if you have younger children, because she shares how she does it with her daughter. So check her out. So this is the middle school. My son would technically be a 7th grader if he went to public school. This is our first time using the middle school. Sometimes I kind of want to do the upper elementary. I liked it and I was so comfortable with it. But he has done very well with the middle school notebook so far. So let's see if I can show you inside of this. It's going to be a lot of flipping. I'm sorry. So this says, "Welcome to Dinosaurs." This is a note for your children to read if they want to. And then you have the table of contents. And so this shows, let's see, I'm trying to get it in the best spot. I don't know where the best spot is. This has all their lessons broken down into exactly what they're doing and what subjects they're covering for that day. Okay? And it's on the back of that page as well. So the Dinosaur Discovery book is actually in the back of these printed versions. Now, if you get the digital, you can put that wherever you want to. You can even make it as a separate book. But if you buy the print version, it's going to be in the back of this book, and I'll show you that. And it's their notebooking and their art. So it's set up a little bit differently from the other units. Then they have this page for them to memorize if you do that kind of thing. Okay, so this is the seat work. You have, let's see, we don't do the seat work. So 5 weeks of seat work. So you can talk about important events, your schedule, explore this week. For the middle school, it is frequently misspelled words. And then you can add any words that you notice they need help learning how to spell. You can add those. I know in the younger journals, they kind of have like a theme with their spelling. Like it may be words with CH or different vowel patterns. But for middle school, it is frequently misspelled words. And then the back of this is where their copywork is, growing my character, vocabulary, and then current events. So if you get the seat work journal, this will be laid out for you and it will take some worry off of you figuring out how you're going to use the seat work. So you may want to look into that. But like I said, we just use the spelling words. We don't do anything else with it. So let me show you. Let's go to lesson 2. Sorry, my nose is running. All right, so normally if you've done any of their units before, you know that most of the lessons, when you get to the student notebook, they start with the notebooking page. However, in this one, it's very different, and it tells you all your notebooking pages for this unit are in the appendix of your student book. So you can pull them out and make your own notebook if you want to. So that's like your warning. That's where that is. Don't forget to do it. So I'm just going to show you like a sample lesson. Their language arts, we're learning how to do research, which is excellent for middle school kids. I feel like my son is ready for that now. And so we've been learning how to do resource. We've been learning about bias, trusted websites, safe research, how to be safe online. It has been wonderful so far. So here's the research. This is talking about you can use interviews, computers, books, all those kind of things. And another thing we talked about were dinosaur diets. So herbivores, carnivores, and not sure how to say that, but they eat fish. Okay? And then for me to get confused, let's see which way I need to go. I believe I need to go this way. I'm telling you, I totally get confused with these books. So this is about comparative anatomy, where you're comparing dinosaur fossils that have been found, like what animals do they look like that we have today. So that was a lot of fun to do. And then here is the apologetics. Not every lesson has this. It's just almost every other lesson. So this one, it'll just tell you like what it's about. So you just read the directions here, and then they kind of do some research on it themselves and find some interesting facts. And let me show you one more lesson. Here's lesson 3. This is primary versus secondary sources. So we talked a lot about that. They got to pick a topic here and they took some notes on it, and they listed their primary sources and their secondary sources. And there's a little note. Don't forget to work on your dinosaur discovery book. You don't want to forget that. And then here we're doing the anatomy of a sentence for some language arts. Let's see, am I going the right way? I am. Okay, then we talked about women's rights. So this talked about Mary Anning, and I love the way that it related it to women's rights. We had a lot to discuss here. And then here's another apologetics. This is about the stone that was found with the House of David on it. All right, let me show you the journal in the back. So back in the appendix, you're going to find spelling words. So if they need a spelling cheat sheet, you could always tear this out and write their spelling words on it. Then you also have, I'm not going to flip to the other page, but you also have a vocabulary cheat sheet if you wanted to tear that out as well. And then here is your discovery book. So this can be torn from your notebook if you want to, and this is where you're going to find the notebooking page and the art. So for lesson 2, this is what yours would look like. This looks like all their notebooking pages. So you got the where, the why, who, what, when, and the how. And then that's where they notebook. And then this is their art. So they are learning step by step how to draw that dinosaur. Okay? And then here's like for lesson 3. There's their notebooking page. And there's their artwork. And so that's the way it continues. Like even if we go way back here, here is lesson 8, same type thing, and there's their artwork. Okay, so this right here, this is the dinosaur unit from Gather Around Homeschool. So we are really enjoying it and loving it. Like I said, if you want to see some other flip throughs, check out my playlist. We have done so many of their units. We love Gather Around. If you have any questions about dinosaurs or about Gather Around Homeschool, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.